Okay, so before we get started with today's video, I'd just like to say I'm absolutely blown away with the level of support from you guys. I've had over 700 subscribers to the channel. The comments have been absolutely amazing. You know, you've been asking great questions, you've left some great feedback, some great tips on how to improve the videos. So thank you to everyone who's commented and everyone who's subscribed. It's hugely appreciated. I hope you're enjoying the videos, and I'm looking forward to creating some more videos for you. Okay, so just tried to do a quick rapid charge at Bishop Street car park here in Stockton, and got beaten into it by a Tesla. It was clear when I left home, but I live about 10 miles away, so by the time I got here, Tesla beat me to it. I imagine with it being quite a big battery, it'll be a little while before I can hop on there, so I've driven to a nearby car park which has a 7 kilowatt post, so we will get plugged into that and see how we get on. Yeah, okay, so a quick update. We are on 41% with 64 miles on the GOM, and we've travelled 92 miles. So that's actually quite positive. It is showing a range of, yeah, about 150, 160 as I showed in the recent video. But yeah, let's get plugged in and we will get some charge into here. Okay, so that post over there is on the Charge Your Car network, and I do have a Charge Your Car card, and also it works on the app. But my electricity provider is OVO, and I'm on their EV Everywhere plan. So they've recently sent me this Polar Plus card, which means I don't have to pay the £1 connection fee. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open a charge port. Oops, I have to turn the car off first. Open the charge port, and we'll go plug in the Type 2 to Type 2 connector. Back in a second. Okay, right, so that charge sort of worked. First time it said that my card had been cancelled, which was a bit worrying. I scanned it a second time and it was quite happy with it. Probably just because it's the first time I've used the card, or maybe it was just playing up. Honestly, I don't know. But yeah, it's charging now. And let's see how much power we're getting out of the charge. Right, okay, yeah, 6 kilowatt charge, which is exactly what I'd expect. Right. I'll sit here for a bit and then I'll try heading back to the Rapid over in Bishop Street. Okay, right, yeah, so there we are. We'll get to 50% in about 20 minutes. I reckon it's 2.5 hours 75. So hopefully I'm not going to stay here this long, but I will keep an eye on ZapMap and the Charge Your Car app just to see what's going on over at the Bishop Street Rapid. While we're here, however, I will just get out of the car for a second. Okay, we'll just have a look. So, Type 2 connector in there, which then goes through. The included Type 2 to Type 2 cable. Got a lot of questions. Yes, that is included with the car, as is a traditional granny charger, and that's going into the Type 2 socket on there. And then obviously the yellow thing on the side is the RFID card reader. Right, so if we get back into the car, and we'll see that yes, charge plug is connected, and it's going to take a little while. Okay, so I'm going to end the video here. We'll come back in a bit. Hopefully we'll see that the charger, the rapid charger, is clear, and we'll take it from there, I guess. Okay, right, so a bunch of you have asked me questions about the car. I've been stalling just until I managed to get our gimbals sorted, but now I've got that here. Let's have a look at some of these things for you. Okay, so several of you have asked if in the roof lining of the car whether there's a storage nook for sunglasses. Unfortunately there isn't. You've got the light there, and if we go further back you've got what I assume is the button to turn off the internal alarm sensors. I'm not 100% sure, but if someone could confirm in the comments I'd be hugely appreciative. But yeah, nowhere really to store sunglasses. I mean, if I have a look down here, you've got your nook for your mobile phone down there. And you've got, you know, your cubby hole there for storing stuff, but you haven't actually got anywhere for your sunglasses. I mean, you've got your door pockets down there. You've got, yeah, I mean, I've been storing sunglasses in the glove box just because I don't really know where else there is to store them, unfortunately. Okay, so another question I've had a few times is how many key fobs do you get with the car? And the answer is 2. You get 2 key fobs with the car. And you also get a little plate for if you lose both key fobs, you can get a new one generated from the code of the car. Okay, so another question I've had has been about the auto dimming rear view mirror. So the rear view mirror, you can control whether or not that dims by simply using this on off button. If you turn it off, the light on the left goes off. If you hit this button again, the light goes on. So the second thing on the right hand side is actually the sensor, so that's what will actually detect glare coming from behind. So yeah, don't cover that up, otherwise it's not going to work. But yeah, I found it's a gentle effect. It takes a second or so for it to filter in. It seems a similar effect to, you know, those sunglasses which tint in bright light. It seems a little bit similar to that. I mean, I don't really know how this works. I'm sure someone will explain it to me in the YouTube comments. But yeah. I'd love to learn a little bit more about how that worked, but yeah, it seems to do a good job so far. Don't really have any complaints. So another question I've had a few times has been about the folding side mirrors and whether they can be controlled manually in addition to the automatic folding. So the way the automatic folding works is when you turn the car off and then you get out of the car, on the outside of the door handle is the request switch, and if you've got the key fob in your pocket, or if you lock the car using the remote, then those mirrors will fold in. And then to unfold them, they don't happen when you unlock the car. You actually need to turn the car's power on with that power switch down there, and then the mirrors will unfold once you go into accessory mode. Now, if the car is totally off and you put your foot on the brake and then hits the power button, the car bypasses accessory mode and goes straight into ready mode, and that, I've noticed, for some reason doesn't trigger the mirrors to unfold. I don't know if that's a bug or if it's intentional, but yeah, you do need to go via accessory mode if you do want those mirrors to unfold. But if they don't unfold, you have this switch here, which, if I pull back the camera a little bit, if I press the switch, you'll notice that toggles them in, and if you press it again, they fold out. So you do also have manual control. So yeah, one of the people who commented, they live, the access to their house is on a very narrow lane. They wanted to make sure that they could you know, drive their Leaf up that narrow lane, and obviously being able to fold in the mirrors would just give you that extra you know, that extra few inches just to get through that tight alley without scraping the mirrors or, you know, snapping them off or whatever. Okay, so I didn't manage to get to that charger in Stockton. By the time Tesla had gone and I'd gotten across town back to that charger, another car had hopped in front of me, so I decided to find an alternate solution. I've come across to Colby Newham to use the Instavolt charger here. Now, it would have normally probably cost me about £7-8, somewhere in that sort of ballpark, but it's got an interesting message on the screen, so let's go have a look at that. Okay, so let me have a look at this charger here. Just give it a second to loop through. There we go, introductory offer. So yeah, free charging, which is good for me. yeah, because this would have otherwise been about 7-8 quid, but free charging is always bonus. It's still required tablet card. I'm guessing it's using that for the authentication, just so it knows when to release the cable and just make sure it's really you. A bit like the other chargers will use RFID tags. But yeah, no, quite happy with that. Free charge. Thank you, Instavolt. Okay, right, so I'm going to try that trip to Manchester today. Just at a rapid charger at the moment, at a Instavolt charger. The reason being, I forgot to plug the car into charge last night, so I need to make sure obviously we're at 100% before we get started. I will just flip the camera around and show you the state of charge at the moment, and also the battery temperature, which is really, really low. But obviously I've only done the one charge. But yeah, let's take a look at that now. Okay, so as you can see there, we've got about 95% in the battery with about 2 minutes left on charge. We've got 144 miles on the GOM. And I'll tell you what, we'll just get that trip counter reset. So if I reset that one to 0, and we'll reset them both. Obviously I'll do like I did last time, trip computer A for each leg and trip computer B for the journey as a whole. What I'll also do is if I go, let's go left a couple, and we'll go and reset the drive computer. So if we can do it, so basically I want to try and do it the same as we did last time. So drive computer 1, we'll reset. Oh, actually, I was showing a little trick. I was told about a little trick for this. Apparently, if you hold down OK, there you go. So I'll, yeah, I should have remembered that. Thanks, Leo, for that tip. Right, okay, so yeah, let's see how we're doing with the charge. There you go. There's our battery temperature. Not really anything to be concerned about. Supposedly 1 minute left on this charge. I find that... How are you going to get 4% in 1 minute? I don't quite believe that. I think that 5 minutes at the top might be... Oh no, we just disconnected. Okay, so 96% is all we're going to get, I think, here. The Instavolt charger, if we just take a look up there, if I zoom in a little bit, it says return plug to charger. So let's go ahead and do that now. Right, so okay, so it looks like it's already disconnected. We'll hit the button. Back into there. Excellent, so it saved us £6.28. Right, so close that, and we'll close that. Okay, so 96% in the battery, 152 miles in the GOM. I think we can quite easily get to Birch Services. Okay, so we made it to Birch Services. Being warned that battery charge is low. Got yellow warning light up at the top, and the petrol indicator's gone orange, and we've also got the amount of miles remaining flashing. Let's have a quick look at battery temperature before we get started. Oops. Right, so battery temperature is about halfway before we get started. The Ecotricity charger next to me appears to be on free then, so we'll go try and take advantage of that in a second. We did dip to about 5 miles, but because we had quite a large downhill at the end of the trip down the M62, we managed to get away with that. Anyway, let's go see if we can plug in. So first things first, oops, let's pop the charge port. Okay, so we've got a free vend on this charger, which is indicated by these two icons up here with a line through them, and in fact it's asking us just which connector we want to use. So we're going to pick DC channel now. We'll connect the vehicle. Okay, so that's connected in there. And we will hit start charging. With a bit of luck, we'll get a free vend. Before this goes green. Okay, yeah, so it's not happy with that. It might have left the car on, so let's check if we've turned the car off. Okay, so let's turn that off. And we'll try again. So hit return to start. Give it a few seconds just to reset itself. And we'll pick DC channel mode. Because we're already connected to cable, we'll hit start charging. There we go, green. Car's just beeped, so I think that's all going to work. There we go, you can hear the charger ramping up. Excellent, so you can see the car's got its blue light in there. And if we come back over here, there we go. Good stuff. Right, let's hop in the car and see what that says. So, give it a second to wake up.
Recording.
Okay, so we've got a warning there. Okay, so we're charging at 37 kilowatts out of the gate. Right, yeah, so it reckons 2 hours for a full charge. I might see if I can do a second charge on here, if I can get away with that. And let's have, while we're here, a look at the drive computer. So, okay, so 3.4 miles per kilowatt hour, average speed 48 miles an hour, and we did 102 miles with 21 miles left on the GOM. Now this did drop when we were about 10 miles away. It said we had about 14. That's because there's quite a big hill in the M62, and just as we got to the top of it, it was at its lowest point, saying we had about 3 miles of slack. By the time we come down that hill, it had regened quite a bit into the battery, and also because it wasn't having to really work to get us down the hill, the GOM's estimate kind of bumped up to about plus 18 miles. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to press and hold OK just to reset the trip computer there. I'm going to reset trip computer A. There we go. Right, we'll leave drive computer 2 and trip computer B so you can see what we're doing at the end. But for the time being, I'm going to pop inside, pop to the loo, and maybe get myself a coffee. See you in a bit. Okay, right, so I got a coffee, I'm inside, warmed up for it. I've got 28 minutes into the charge and we're at 56%. Charging point 376 volts and 107 amps going into the battery. Right, so let's have a look at what the car says. So one thing I've noticed, I seem to have caused this problem a lot. When I initially started to charge, the reason it failed is because I left, although the ignition was off, the car was on because I could see the screens. It looks like it will not start charge with the car on. You do want it completely off before you start. I might be wrong on that, but that seems to be kind of a recurring pattern. And it did tell me to turn the car off on the charger, so yeah, I do think that's the thing. Right, so if we go over and have a look at the state of the charge, we are okay. So the battery temperature is up there, so I guess about 2/3 of the way along, still within the safe zone. If I just try and balance the brightness, there we go. So yeah, we're just getting a full 40 kilowatts out. Well, I say full. We're getting 40 kilowatts out of the charger. I was getting more from this, I'm sure, from the InstaVolt charger I used earlier on. Yeah, but yeah, I think that's just a limitation of I think that's just a limitation of these electric highway chargers. A lot of people are saying that due to the way they're wired in, you'll never get more than about 44 kilowatts out of them, despite the fact that the Leaf can obviously take 50 kilowatt channel. Anyway, I'm going to let this keep running for a little bit. Got 91 miles on the GOM at 60% charge. But yeah, I mean, if we look back at the last journey, I think 110 miles in winter motorway driving seems reasonable. Okay, yeah, so I reckon you'll get 110 miles, possibly more, depending on how much uphill, downhill you're doing along the journey. And I think 110 miles for winter is a reasonable ballpark. In the summer, I think that will go up to maybe 140-ish, but that's complete conjecture, and I guess we'll have to see what summer rolls around. So yeah, I reckon in winter, 160 miles mixed, and 110 motorway is probably a fair guess. As for city driving only, I don't really have a gauge. I imagine maybe 180 if you're really lucky and aren't doing above 30 for your entire charge. But I think that's, most people are going to do some A roads at some point. So I think, 160 is probably a safer bet. We'll see how much that increases over summer. I imagine it will increase a bit, but we don't know exactly by how much. So let's see if my coffee is cool enough to drink or if it's going to melt my face off. It's cool enough to drink. Excellent. Let's actually just try it. Okay, so let's grab my tablet and see if there's any other questions that I can answer while I'm sat here. Okay, so one of the questions I've been asked is about how much space there is in the back. So I'm going to hop in the back now and we'll see. What I'll do is I'll put the passenger... Okay, I think the passenger chair is all the way back. So what I'll do is I'll hop into that passenger seat there in the back and we'll see just how much legroom I've got. Okay, so let's have a quick walk around. Okay, right, so this is how much space we've got with, let's see if I can turn it on. Okay, right, so let's see how much space we've got in the back here. So, even with that front, let me zoom out a little bit. Right, so even with the front passenger seat all the way forward, so all the way back, I have about that much legroom. So it's actually a bit more room than I expected to have. I'm about 5'8", 5'9". If I turn the camera around, you'll see that I've got about this much headroom. If I was maybe 6 foot, I think it might be pushing it. But yeah, I mean, there's absolutely tons of room. Let's see if I can get a side shot on it. I don't know how well this is actually going to come out because obviously it's black and it's dark. But yeah, let's see what we can do. Okay, right, quick update on charging. 72% in the battery, 109 miles on the GOM. We have a charge temperature of, okay, let's go up most of the way. and the charge speed is backed off to 30 kilowatts. It's 7 degrees C outside, and it reckons we've got about 54 minutes left. Now, I'd expect it to be backing off around this point of the charge anyway, so I'm not really alarmed by that. Also, the battery temperature, I mean, I don't actually think that's really impacting the charging speed. I think the issues you saw the other day may well have been more related to an issue with the charger, perhaps. I'm not sure. Obviously, we'll continue to do some rapid charges as time progresses, and we'll see if this pattern persists. Okay, so we just got to 86%, and for some reason the charge session over there just finished. So I'm going to try and set another one going. I'm not sure if it'll let me, but you never know your luck. See what happens. Right, guys, this is time limit reached. DC cheddar mode. And start charging. 4 meters on the car off again. So that's going to fail, isn't it? Cars speed happily, so I think we're good. And you can hear the charger ramping up there again. Good stuff. Right, so much slower rate of charge now, obviously, but we'll just get the battery to 100%. Let's see. Oops. Let's see how much longer it reckons we'll need.
Recording.
41 minutes, and we're charging at 18 kilowatts. Right, okay, so there wasn't any issues with the car, it's just that it had a time of set for about 50 minutes, I think, which probably booted us off. But yeah, we just started off another charge. Excellent. Okay, right, last couple of minutes of the charge session. We've got about 2 minutes left. It's just literally topping off the battery here. Yeah. Let's see how we get on. 1 minute left. I guess probably going to kick us off at about 98%. And that's fine. I mean, we've probably got more than enough to get home. While we're waiting, I will just pop my home into the sat nav, and we'll see if it comes up with a warning.
You might not be able to reach destination.
Crap. Okay. No, I'm pretty confident we will, despite the warning. So I'm going to say no to that.
Proceed to the highlighted route.
And yeah, let's see how we get on. Okay, so we made it just about. When we got into E19, the first part of that is uphill, which sapped most of the surplus charge that we had. Luckily there was some downhill as well towards where we went to turn off, so that allowed us to gain some of that back. But yeah, I think we cut it very, very close there. Okay, cool. Okay, so one thing I forgot to film last night in my hurry to get in and put the car on charge was the drive computers. So if we have a look at the trip computers first of all, we'll see that our total, the leg back was 113.1 miles. In total we drove 215.2 miles. And if we go across to the drive computers, oops, still on that screen. Okay, so on the leg back, we did 3.5 miles per kilowatt hour. We drove for 113.1 miles, average speed of 49 miles an hour, and the journey took about 2 hours and 18 minutes. Overall, we drove 3.5 miles per kilowatt hour, covering 215.3 miles, average speed of 39 miles an hour, and the whole journey took 5 hours and 25 minutes. Well, the car was on for 5 hours and 25 minutes. Obviously, plenty of that time was me leaving the car on so I could keep an eye on the charge situation.